In this brand new defensive series, we're bringing you the exact formula that helped Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs dominate college football and go back-to-back as national champions. This is not a throwback scheme. This is modern, relentless, and built to dominate. We're calling it the Dawgs Dynasty Defense, and it's going to be crafted around three main principles. Advanced lockdown match coverages on the back end of your defense. Violent, exotic blitzes from multiple fronts to terrorize quarterbacks, and we want to take control of the line of scrimmage, shut down the run game with NFL-ready athletes. If you want a scheme that puts pressure on the QB, confuses reads, shuts down the run, and adapts to any formation, this is it. And when you master it, you'll be running the system that turned Georgia into a dynasty. Kirby Smart didn't just inherit greatness, he evolved it. After learning under Nick Saban at Alabama and coordinating some of the best defenses the Tide ever fielded, Kirby took the blueprint and created something even more ruthless in Athens. What he built at Georgia wasn't just a dominant stretch, it was a full-blown defensive dynasty. From 2021 to 2022, the Bulldogs went on one of the most terrifying defensive runs in modern college football history. In an era dominated by high-tempo offenses and spread concepts, Georgia flipped the script and they finished #1 in scoring defense in 2021 with just 10.2 points allowed per game. They went back-to-back as national champions, only allowed one touchdown in the 2022 national championship against TCU, held their arch rival Alabama to 18 points in the 2021 title game. This wasn't smoke and mirrors, it was a systematic dismantling of elite offenses, and the NFL took notice. Georgia produced a historic wave of first-round draft picks across their defensive roster. They had Travon Walker go #1 overall. They had Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Devontae Wyatt, all interior monsters, all day one picks. Nakobe Dean, Nolan Smith, Keely Ringo, Lewis Seen, Quay Walker. Every level of the defense sent talent to the league. This wasn't just the most talented unit in college football, it was the most prepared, the most violent, and the most complete. This is the system that didn't just win games, it redefined how championships are won in modern football, and we're bringing it all to life in college football 26. This is the Dawgs Dynasty Defense. Now, this defense isn't built around one formation or one trick. It's built on defensive control of the line, the sky, the tempo, and the quarterback's mind. This defense lives in match. We're not running spot drop zones, we're rotating shells, trapping routes, and running the most advanced coverage breakdown you will find anywhere. Quarters, palms, match 3, combo man, we are gonna break it all down. And we are gonna bring pressure from everywhere. Zone blitzes, man blitzes, sim pressures, edge heat, overload blitzes, all coming from everywhere. Every front gives us new paths to the quarterback. You won't just send pressure, you'll dictate protection and have the QB second guessing his every decision. Then we want a run wall. From 3-4 tight to 3-3-5 mint, this system is built to shut down inside zone counter and option runs. Expect a ton of TFLs, forced third downs, and chaos in the backfield, and it is all about controlling that line of scrimmage. Now, this isn't surface level quarters. We're teaching full field match concepts, combo coverage tags, and hybrid shells that react to motion, route stems, and split formations. Very few people will run match coverage as advanced as we will in college football 26. And we're going to bring a true hybrid of pressure coverages. Most schemes force a trade-off, send pressure and lose structure, or cover and play passive. In Dawgs Dynasty, we're going to do both. You'll bring disguised blitzes with trap coverage in behind it, or a 4-man sim pressure where we will get a ton of heat and drop everyone else out, forcing QBs into bad reads and worse decisions. And we want rotational fronts with a purpose. 3-4 tight is designed to handle under center offenses and heavier personnel sets with a sturdy interior and edge control. Meanwhile, 3-3-5 mint and overflex are tailor-made to slow down modern spread attacks, giving you coverage flexibility and speed while still holding up against the run. Whether you're facing 12 personnel or 4 wide tempo, we can adapt and punish. So our base formations in this defense are going to be 3-3-5 mint, 3-3-5 overflex, and 3-4 tight. And then if you're playing Ultimate Team, use the Georgia Bulldogs Playbook. And then if you're playing Regs, you can use any Regs team that uses the 3-3-5 defensive playbook. Then if you want to take this defense to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now, you'll find part 2 of this video where I share the first defense for this Georgia D up right now with the first scheme, and we are going to be running it at a 2-4 load mug and single mug, and you will only be able to find this defense on the site. And it is full of some absolutely incredible blitzes that are going to let let you just create a ton of big plays. I've also updated the site for this Georgia defense, and all schemes going forward is going to be way easier to navigate and find what you want, with each play in the scheme getting its own video, so it will be super easy to rewatch and find the plays whenever you want them. Then also up on the site right now, we have 4 other really good mini schemes that you can utilize right now. So by subscribing to the site, you'll also get access to all of my college football and Madden 25 content. Then when Madden 26 drops, you'll receive all of that content plus the college football 26 stuff, all for one price. Then for the first time in the history of Scheme Kings, I'm going to be running a sale for the yearly membership. It will be 40% off, so it will go from $129 per year to about $78 for one whole year. And this sale is going to run for 1 month until August 25th. Use code YEAR26. Then I'm also going to be running my Georgia D sale on the site, and this will run until September 1st. Use code DAWGS26 to get 50% off your first month if you want to just do the monthly membership. So if you want to check out the site, I will link it down below. Okay, now we're going to be breaking down the players that we're going to use to bring this Dawgs Dynasty defense to life. This guide is built for players in Ultimate Team and playing Dynasty, and we're going to show you exactly what cards to target or players to recruit. All right, so now we're going to break down the front 7 players we are going to use for our 3-4 type formation. We'll go position by position. Now first we have our nose tackle. This is your interior enforcer. His job in your 3-4 front is to eat space, control the point of attack, and force double teams. He's the reason your linebackers stay clean and your run defense stays nasty. In real life, Jordan Davis dominated in this role for Georgia. At 6'6" and over 340 pounds, he was a one-man wall, blowing up inside zones, taking on 2 blockers every snap, and still moving like a freak athlete. For our Georgia defense, we're going to be using Elijah Griffin in this spot. Next up, we have our 3-4 defensive ends. They need to be more than just edge setters. They have to lock down their gaps, control tight ends and tackles, and still have the juice to shoot into the backfield and make plays. Georgia had 2 absolute monsters here with Devontae Wyatt and Jalen Carter. Both were first-round picks, 2 gap when needed, but also could explode into the backfield with violent hands and twitchy footwork. Here we're rolling with Hayden Lowe and Chief Borders at these spots. Next up, we have our 2 outside linebackers in 3-4. These are your heat-seeking missiles. In this scheme, both outside backers must be elite athletes who can fly off the edge and get home on blitzes, but they also need the agility and athleticism to drop out into coverage and match up with tight ends and handle checkdowns. So Nolan Smith was the total package at this spot. He could set the edge, run with tight ends, and then bend around the tackle and get to the QB in the same drive. Travon Walker, while more of a pure pass rusher, was a freak athlete off the edge. Explosive, violent, disruptive, and this led to him being the first overall pick in the NFL draft. So we're going to be rolling with Harold Perkins Jr. and Deontay Lawson at our 2 outside linebacker spots. Now for our inside backers, these are our do-it-all enforcers. The inside linebackers in our 3-4 fronts have to be elite athletes who can wear multiple hats, stack and shed in the run game, come downhill on blitzes, and hold their own in coverage against tight ends and running backs. Nakobe Dean was the brain of the Georgia defense. Fast, instinctive, and always one step ahead. He could shut down zone runs and then lock up a tight end the very next snap. Quay Walker was the hammer to Dean's scalpel. Bigger frame, violent finisher, but still incredibly fluid and fast. Now we're going to be starting Zayden Walker and Sammy Brown in our 2 inside linebacker spots. All right, now we're going to break down the personnel we want to use in our 3-3-5 front. In this setup, our 3-down linemen need to control the point of attack, eat up blocks, and let our backers and DBs fly to the football. They also have to be athletic enough to generate pressure against spread passing teams. Our on-ball linebacker is going to be our 4th rusher in most setups. He's going to be coming downhill on blitzes constantly and needs to be a legit pass rusher, but he also has to drop into coverage on occasion, so athleticism and versatility are key. Our 2 off-ball linebackers are true hybrids. They need to cover running backs and tight ends, shoot gaps in the run game, and blitz when needed. These are our do-it-all guys, and if you're using one of them, they better be fast, reactive, and ready to make game-breaking plays. Now we're going to look at our secondary, and it's important to note this is going to be the same for our 3-4 and 3-3-5 defenses. Now for our safeties, in most situations, we're starting in a 2-high shell, but we will rotate down into single high looks as well. So our safeties need to be interchangeable. They've got to cover deep, fly downhill in the run game, match routes in space, and be fast enough to close gaps in a hurry. We're also going to be using our safeties often, so speed, range, and size are major pluses. So Lewis Cine was a missile in this role, a violent hitter with a elite closing speed. He excelled at playing downhill, cracking receivers, and blowing up plays near the line of scrimmage. Javon Bullard was more of a versatile hybrid. He had the movement skills to cover from the slot, blitz off the edge, and rotate deep. For our two safeties, we're going to be rolling with Rabbit Evans and Coy Parrish. At cornerback, we're looking for length, speed, and lockdown ability. These guys are going to spend most of their time covering vertical routes, whether we're in match quarters, cover 3, or palms, so they need to be able to win deep, contest 50-50 balls, and blanket top receivers in man. So Georgia had Tyson Campbell, prototypical size at 6'2", elite athleticism, and played with physicality at the catch point, a lockdown cornerback one who thrived in press coverage. They also had Keely Ringo, big, fast, physical, known for his pick 6 in the national championship, but he was more than just a playmaker. He was a legit top-end athlete who could shut down #1 wide receivers. For our corners, we're using Ben Hanks and D'Angelo Pons on the outside. Then for our nickel, he is one of the most critical players in our entire system. He's going to be doing everything, covering slot receivers, flying to the flats, blitzing off the edge, and matching vertical routes up the seam. And then he's going to be a key part of our blitzing schemes and is going to be coming off the edge a ton, so he needs to have speed to get to the QB in a hurry on blitzes. For this role, we're going to be rolling with Cade Phillips. Now, once you get your hands on this full scheme, you are going to be unstoppable. But remember, the first part of this Dawgs Dynasty defense is already live on Scheme Kings and ready for you to start learning right now. But defense is just one side of the ball. If you want to start dominating on offense as well, check out my Miami overpowered offense that will let you throw on anyone, and you can watch that by clicking right here.